So the last installment of our video series here from the workshop I've heard of Google Classroom Now What through Guy Finter Service Cooperative is my favorite. It is extensions that you can use to extend the functionality of your Chrome browser. So I have all of these extensions up here at the top, and they all do something within my browser that allows me to manipulate my browsing experience to really customize it. So we can get Chrome extensions through the Chrome Web Store. In order to do that, we can go here to the Web Store, or we can just type in chrome.google.com/web store. That's all. So I've got all these different options down here for extensions. It's like a free shopping spree. It's my favorite. I have linked a lot of the ones for you that I use really regularly. So they are here on slide 52 of our slides deck. So 52, and I'm going to link you one more time to your training materials. Those are found at bit.ly/G for Google Classroom. Now what? That is case sensitive, so you do have to capitalize the G and the C. And then you're going to go to File in the upper left-hand corner and make yourself a copy so that it will be stored in your drive forever so that you can have access to it. And then down here on slide 52, you can find all of the extensions that I have linked for you. So I'm just going to show you what some of these extensions do. I'm just going to go from left to right. Now, some of these, I've heard that Share to Classroom is going away, which it was a really great one. So I was sad to hear that, but I'm not going to cover it with you, but it is still linked. If you want to look into it, or perhaps they will decide to make it available again at some point. I also have Screencastify linked for you. We talked about that in the video regarding how to make and distribute videos for your students. So Screencastify, and then Loom, which is the recording tool that I'm using now to make these videos for you. They just allow you to record what you're doing on your screen, or they allow you to record what you're doing on your screen with a thumbnail of yourself down in the corner, like a picture or a video of yourself. One of my very favorites is this Dualis. So it's linked for you right here. So what Dualis does, it's here. It allows me to split my screen, and it simulates having two computer monitors, which is fantastic. I loved having two computer monitors. I don't currently have two monitors, but I still want that functionality sometimes. So I get to choose the ratio. That's one of my favorite things about Dualis, is that sometimes I need like a 70-30 proportion there on my screen. So if I'm creating a slides deck, but I'm using information from another website, I want to be able to split my screen so that I can have my slides presentation on one side and that information on the other where I'm copying and pasting. So if I click that, you can see it split my screen in half, 70-30. So not in half, it split my screen in two, 70-30. And I'm able to work over here and have this open and continue to browse on that side too. So when I'm ready to put them back together, I just choose one, and it puts all of my tabs back together. A lot of times I'll do a 50-50 so that I can work over here and work over here at the same time. Super friendly, super handy for me to use. And I do use it constantly, especially when I'm creating slides decks and I want to be able to copy information from half of my screen and then paste it into the other half of my screen. Kind of helps my workflow. Another one of my favorite extensions is OneTab. It's linked for you in the slides presentation right here. So OneTab takes all of my tabs and literally sucks them into one tab. Now, these are all the tabs that I had open just now. This is an old one that I did back in June. I can either restore all the next day if I want to bring those back up, or I can share this as a web page. So now I just copy this and I paste this into an email to myself. And then when I reopen it, I can just restore all of those tabs that I had open before. So if I'm working on something at school and I want to be able to continue in all of those exact same tabs at home. I will go ahead and one tab that. And then when I get home and open my Chrome browser, I have the option to go into one tab and restore those same tabs that I had open at school. It's fantastic. This is the extension Save to Google Drive. Save to Drive just takes a screenshot in a PDF format of an entire screen, and it saves a copy of that to my drive. So right now, I'm here in the Chrome Web Store. All of this content, just a couple pages worth of content. I can click Save to Drive. So this was an educational article, and I wanted to save the article to my drive. I click Save. Cannot screen capture Chrome pages. Okay, I'm going to go here and try this one. Let's try that. Okay, so it says it's uploading. Oh, it's a PNG. It's uploading that PNG to my drive, and now I can see what that looks like. So it just took a screenshot of exactly what I was doing, and it put a screenshot of that into my drive. So that's what Save to Drive does. Bitly is how I push today's link out to you. So this is the whole web address to my slides presentation, but I don't expect anybody to be able to easily type that in. A lot of times let's say I want to go to something that my kids would be on, like Time for Kids. And I want them to be able to navigate to a specific section of Time for Kids. It's going to be so slow. But if I want to send them to a specific page, or like in the event of today's training, I wanted you to be able to get to this slides deck pretty easily. So I created a Bitly for it. So when I choose Bitly, it automatically generates a shorter web address that would take someone here, but I wanted to customize the back half. So I made it GC Now What, since that was the title of this training. So if I click save, it's going to tell me that's not available because someone, myself in this case, has already used it. So I could go and I could make it GC Now What 2. Let's see. If I save that, now a link would be created to this presentation with a custom back half that I had created. So that's what Bitly does for you. I use Bitmoji constantly in presentations. Today I had my Bitmoji in some of the slides that I had shared with you. I use it fairly often just for making slides decks, just to up the interest level just a bit. Read and Write for Google Chrome is an extension that your students might want, or you might want to have it added for certain students, especially if they have an IEP or a 504. So what it's going to do is it's going to read any text that's on that screen. So here's an article about Elmo. I'm going to click Read and Write.
Not Too Late Show with Elmo is a new talk show.
So the only thing that I don't love about Read and Write is that it does sound a bit robotic. I have not found an extension that reads content for students that doesn't sound robotic, because they all use AI to read that. And so it still is a very useful tool for students who need that extra accessibility with web content to be able to help them read it. So that's linked for you on slide 52. Let's see what else I've got. Oh, a PDF merge. I prefer to use just the PDF Mergy website. I'm going to show that to you. So it's pdfmerge.w69b.com. What this is going to do is, if I have a whole bunch of, say, student essays that were turned into me, and I've got 20 Google Docs that I want to print for some reason, whether it's to add it to a hard copy portfolio or to send home for parents or to display in the hallway, whatever the case is that I want to print a lot of something at the same time, I'm going to select those files from my Google Drive, and it is going to merge all of those files into one PDF that I can now just hit print one time, and it prints out all 20 of those essays. It is fantastic. It is life-changing, especially for ELA teachers who have students doing a lot of writing and for whatever reason they want to print it. So it's got a extension. I've always just used the web site to do this. So just whatever your comfort level is, that is up to you. This is Alice Keeler Open Side by Side. So if I install the Open Side by Side Chrome extension, I can right click on any link from anywhere that I want, and it will ask me if I want to open it side by side, and it's just going to open it in a new screen on half of the page in a new tab. And then when I close that, I can just restore the screen that I had. Jiffy for Chrome has been removed from the Chrome Web Store, but you can go to the Jiffy website if you want to put a GIF into a slides presentation, and you can actually just select the GIF that you want and drag and drop it into your slides presentation. Sir Links-A-Lot is going to help you manage the sharing settings in any docs or slides that you want to share. So when I click Sir Links-A-Lot, it has access to this certain Google Doc. I can either force a copy of it, preview it, make it a template or a PDF. So if I want to force someone to make a copy of something, I can choose that. And now it has modified my sharing settings for me. And when I copy this link, anyone who clicks that link will be forced to make their own copy. So that's Sir Links-A-Lot. We've talked about this Loom extension, which is for screencasting. And then Kami is a PDF annotation extension so that I can annotate directly onto a PDF. So let's say I want to go to Math PDF. So this is just a basic math review. Now it popped open right here because my computer knew that this was a PDF, and it's asking me, do I want to edit this with Kami? So I'm going to open it with Kami. And here it is. Now I've got the option to add comments, add a text box, mark it up. Not sure what just happened there. I can highlight on it. It's pretty fantastic. This is the free version. It's never, I've never felt limited by the free version. It does everything that I want it to do and more. So it's giving me this text highlighting option. It's giving me also a box highlighter if you're a perfectionist like me and you just want to kind of highlight around it. So now it's highlighted. I can add text boxes to this. So if this is something where you expect your students to be doing some work and solving something, you can just have them add in a text box here and they can type right into it. They can give you their answer there. So once they're done, they just need to allow it to save to Google Drive. And it's going to save this PDF and the annotations, the highlights, the text boxes, whatever they've done to it. It's going to save a copy to their drive, and then they can turn around and they can either turn it in or share it with you. It's just something you're going to have to teach your students how to use because there is a bit of a learning curve with it. I don't think that I would for sure use it under third grade. So definitely great for third and up. Definitely probably too many steps for K2. And that's just for me personally for some graphic stuff that I do. So those are all of my favorite extensions. There are tons more in the Chrome Web Store. You can search for just any number of Chrome extensions that customize your browsing experience within the Chrome browser. In Google Docs and Slides, Sheets, Forms, you have this add-ons box. So add-ons are like extensions, but they're specific to a particular app. So I can get add-ons here, and I can just browse through all of the add-ons that are available for Google Docs. So a lot of these are just specific to education. Some of them are not. You've got Orange Slice student rubric. You've got highlighting tool. If you make a lot of labels for sending something out, you can have a label merge add-on for Google Docs. Same with Sheets, Forms, Slides. You have add-on capabilities for all of those just to further customize what you can do with those.